and Chingotto could not get over and close the gap, get a racket underneath, and that'll be 15 all. Or excuse me, 30 love as Coello moves in front. Yeah, there's a lot to keep your eyes on here because the movement is so fast and frenetic. The one area where they seem to be cool and take a little bit more time is those deep balls because they know it's going to hit off the back wall and they've got some time to set and get ready for their next thoughtful shot. Wind starting to gust a little bit more than it had earlier today. Team reserve on the board with their first point. And Chingotto hits the top of the fencing. And it'll be Team Miami at the net being very aggressive. Galan tries to go back behind. Well placed lob. And that one gets caught up in the non-existent rafters. Galan able to make a play. And just bringing in the big sweeping forehand from Tapia seals the deal. Number 8 in the world as a tennis professional, has an academy here in Miami, and he's been at the helm of this absolutely fantastic Team Miami. Opening point of game 2. And Coello goes up high, stretches.
Pay their trust. He didn't talk about it like a pressure thing, just as something almost reassuring that somebody believes in me, so now I'm going to go do my thing.
Awesome start here for Miami once again, and you, as expected, see Coello and Tapia in great position and a break of serve. And that's 2 love. So Galan, Saudis, actually far closer to the Chilean border than it is the Argentine capital. Oh, it tagged. Coello somehow got his racket on that. Thought it came off of his backside, but the racket was in place.
First person to smile there was Ale Galan. He's probably going to have a tag tomorrow from the mark that ball left on him, but just to be able to get a piece of it with a racket to keep the point alive.
Oh, it misses. Chingotto did not think that ball was going to come back at him.
Just thought, I'm not going to have to make a play here, so by the time he did, he was too close to the door. Sent the ball out the door.
Already seeing in these opening 3 games why these two got a great outlook on life, knowing that despite being not statuesque, it actually fuels his desire to be amongst the best. Yeah, for Fede, you know, his philosophy is very straightforward through effort and training. And to go with it, he didn't say this, but I'm going to say it, and also a positive attitude of which he exudes.
It's also a great approach that he takes, attitude that he takes, as they apologize and smile to each other. He said his goal is to get the best out.
We've seen some miraculous shots already executed during this cup. That time, just wanting.
The majority of those in the first match from Momo Gonzalez, and he hit one that was a great example, and I think it left some of the people here who weren't as familiar with Padel just a little bit surprised because he just dumps it into the net, and you're thinking, wait, but no, because he was out the door and able to do that.
Yeah, you bet it is. Game point for Arturo, King Arthur, if you will. And his partner Tapia hoping to jump out to 4-1. And Galan says, hold on, not just yet. Please play. But in that case, power just too good. Miss hit off the frame of Tapia, but it still stays in play. Great depth from Galan, and that a little too strong. Coello. Oh, that's brilliant, and what a great just effort to stay. Tapia was still able to play on it. He had to redirect just a touch to hit it in the open court. And there is a break at love and for tool like it is in tennis, but it's still impressive when you can move through unblemished. And it's a runaway train once again, just with a brief tennis, and of course a fellow Argentine, because of his positivity. You know, in the matches that we've seen Fede play
just
in,
on the far west side, right outside the Holland Tunnel, obviously only open in the summertime months. He would not want to be outside right now playing paddle in New York, but yeah, they've done a great job up there as well. It's been very popular. The sport just growing and growing, and Reserve has taken the initiative to lead that charge here in the U.S.
And Coello trying to help his own to Team MIA.
A lot of pace on that serve, more than you're used to seeing.
Oh, well done in the disguise. Just that little angle for Team Miami here. And that is symbolic in many ways because both are now residents of Miami, each having moved here. And of course that allows them to train. But nonetheless, what a great opportunity for them to continue on as they would live and train here. And boy, are they representing with the MIA next to their name here.
Of course, Galan on the other side of the net, also now affiliated with Reserve. Don't think he's made the full-time move to Miami, but you would imagine he'll be spending a lot more time here.
Match number 3 playing with Nieto. He also has moved to Miami to train and live. And so it is the Miamians.
Moving somebody laterally. It's just about trying to get your opponent uncomfortable and be tactically offensive as opposed to just overpowering somebody and being offensive in that way.
Oh, that's terrific stuff, and the redirection just caught Chingotto leaning. He was going to go towards
two more events later this year, but all of that costs money, and just the investment from Reserve, from Wayne Boych, that he's made to try to grow paddle in the United States, boost its profile, to draw the biggest players. This is the most prize money ever awarded, a $1.7 million purse over the course of the Reserve Cup series all year long. Just each match being worth money. It's how you get the best. You pay for it, and that's what's going on here.
Provide facilities to make it happen, and as we mentioned, we detailed the 4 facilities that Reserve Paddle have. 3 here in South Florida, 1 in New York, and you would expect 1 a year is not going to sit well. They want to expand well beyond that in the next 5 years. Coello will represent Reserve Paddle. One imagines for years to come as that's going to hit the back wall high. For Team Miami as Tapia tries to extend the lead further. That's quality finish for Chingotto, but really the master class was Tapia and his just sort of reverse back paddle.
From Galan, just to keep that so low, that produced that well-put beef.
Once again.
The other side. Let's go.
That'll be done. That ain't coming back. Chingotto runs into the net, which is very impressive, right? Except that their opponents combined for 188.
Although you can handicap that for Chingotto and Galan because they did not start the year playing together. Galan started with Juan LeBron, his longtime partner.
That is true.
The last match they lost before that winning streak was the Rome final at the Coello Tapia. That made their loss at the Tour Finals even more surprising.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Yeah, nice stuff. Chingotto's able to keep that low as King Arthur once again returns to the line. Serving 6-3-3-2 in favor of Team Miami.
And it's worth noting their statement of intent this is for the rest of 2025 from Coello and Tapia.
Without question. I'm not even sure there's a word to articulate how much I agree with you. 100%, will that work?
Sure, I'll take it.
Serve is MIA.
Nice.
MIA, of course, not referring to Miami.
Nothing.
Because of the losses in 7 matches over these 3 days. Something we have talked about, Brian, though. It's not just about hit here, go there. I mean, they're constantly telling each other vast information.
It's fascinating, and even if you don't speak Spanish, you're still able to pick up the general sense of what's being communicated. It's usually about who's up, and that constant dialogue, or really monologue, is a fascinating element to follow.
Golden point here in this 6th game, and a chance for Team Miami, of course, to increase their lead. So important for Team Reserve just to get to even terms here in this 2nd set. That's good stuff from Tapia. He missed the previous point. And the off-speed stuff from Galan after he tries to pulverize
so quickly, and right there, he was not.
Yeah, you bring up a good point because at 6'3", getting his frame down into the corner, you know, wedging yourself in can be a difficult ask. And Galan's starting to really produce quality tennis, seeing why he has been. Here is Augustin Tapia serving from a deficit 3-4 second set. Who found that he liked tennis, he liked squash, he wanted a hybrid of the two. And created this absolutely dynamic and enthralling sport. When that tags the back end of Coello, offers his apology. Who knew that it would be the place that spawned this magnificent sport that has extended across the world, 78 countries, federations, 30,000 plus courts, that is growing in size. And that's
racing series in the world. It's, I think, the 2nd most viewed sport in the world behind the World Cup because it's a year-round competition. But it did not crack the U.S. market.
Serve for the set at 5-3. Just every seat filled for this contest. And again, long from Chingotto. Binoculars trying to watch the match here, Brian.
Maybe they're looking at our monitor, or maybe they're following us on YouTube or DAZN, and they want to actually see what the fuss is about across the bay.
And that's off the wall.
Just too fitting in terms of how the two previous nights and the first match tonight have gone. Team Miami's able to wiggle out of this.
Just a bit long. Sky high lob. Magnificent.
Oh.
Tapia can't clear the net, could result in the set for Team Reserve. Oh, and standing true is Coello, and Chingotto can't believe it.
Don't see Coello miss that lob too much.
No, and he won't miss that, and that's in the drink. That's number 4 that goes.
Probably used to tennis balls, and then they bite into a paddle ball, and it's, you know, less pressurized, and they get all thrown off by it.
Ooh, and taking it on the keister is Chingotto, wise to turn around and keep it from going even more towards more vulnerability. 23rd birthday early in March this year. Comes back with it, puts it in play, but there's a lot of room to cover. What a magnificent pickup for Tapia, and another. Oh my. Wow, I hope you have a very soft spot for your jaw to land, paddle fan.
Awesome stuff all around, and the amount of time out the door that those two players spent to play it over the wall like that, because that was the only play. Quite the dance from Tapia.
Number 3 for Reserve, or 5 all for Miami. 0 for 3.
Hit it at him as hard as he thought he would.
Demonstrating the paddle equivalent of airtime and hang time, if you will. That's quality. Anything else?
It's one of the many skills that you see in paddle, how low players are able to keep the ball and how that's able.
And that's not coming back, and Galan has done his part as he puts the final touches on the 11th game. Here's Tapia getting game 12 underway. And Chingotto finds himself off the court. He's just a spectator as he went outside. Coello was able to sprint forward and use that magnificent length. That pickup right there was fantastic from Tapia, and his partner said, let me help you out.
Just that total trust to be able to play that ball with your back to the net. Way into the Olympics.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a source of conversation amongst certainly not just the paddle players, but paddle industry. They're hoping that that is going to come to fruition.
Oh.
Not of appreciation from Coello. Arthur got up high. Fede just waited, said, I got you. Ooh. Oh, just off the frame of Galan, and that's disappointing. That does result in aces. I dare say this one should be amongst the mix too.
Well, what's interesting too is how the International Olympic Committee, they've taken that kind of dynamic of paddle was going in. Brisbane 2032, but maybe 2036. You know, if something goes to Madrid, Madrid's been in the mix for a while. That would seem like a logical time to get it in.
Good core coverage from Galan, showing his expertise and calmness, keeping the rally alive. And that's too long, well left by Tapia of the event in the 3 days. 6th overall amongst the 8 matches.
It is. Miami?
It is indeed. 5-0 in tiebreak or match tiebreaks this event.
Ooh.
Hope and a glimmer, and you can hear the crowd. They want to see, you know, a third set, which would be the match tiebreak. They don't want this battle between the top 2 teams of last year to end. A bit partisan at the moment, even if they're just here to see the very best. Getting a tremendous display. Oh, under his own thought process.
Let's see if we can see what the actual issue was. He almost caught the ball instead of just dunking it over the net.
Yeah, it looks like he just misjudged. The lead has been safe for Team Reserve to this point. Can they capitalize here? That was a good thought. Break lead at 5-2.
Just thinking about that Galan miss.
In fact, for Team Reserve, and it's an unreturnable serve as a point. Remember, this is first team to 10 win by 2 in the match tiebreak. Galan sees to it that another ball departs the departs the court and heads in the stands, gets the ball back. He wants it back. That's superstitious. One apiece. Smart stuff from Galan. He just saw that Tapia had fallen. He had to, while you're down, I'm going to put you out.
Put it right back at him. Ooh.
Goodness, and Galan after the Team Reserve is 3-2, very early in the match tiebreak. And Tapia really didn't have any other choice. He couldn't quite take it way too high. Terrific stuff from Chingotto.
Yeah, the amount of spin Chingotto able to put on that ball to just let it keep carrying and over that 4-meter wall.
Another magnificent effort to get outside the court. I mean, he was on his horse quickly, was Tapia.
That ball back into play. And again, it doesn't have to hit the ground on that side.
Hit by Galan and hit the court. He was already heading towards the door. I mean, he knew because of his positioning and his experience that that ball was going to ricochet out. And what a magnificent way to finish.
No John McPhee needed. He was the co-writer.
Tapia again frustrated.
So if Galan gets drawn up, Chingotto can drop back with no problem. He loves the net, though. He calls it Chingo land.
That is heading towards Team Reserve's first victory here at Reserve Cup Miami. And 3 points away. And again, Galan right there, right time. He knew where to be. He deposits it out of the court and out of reserve, or reserve seaplane. Thank you. Off the reserve, if you will, yeah. And it'll be back to a reserve for Team Miami to try to get back in, which has been a runaway match tiebreak. And it'll be a match point. Wow, Team Reserve has come on strong after dropping the opening set and having a couple of miscues. They found a way to win the second set tiebreak, and they're off to a fantastic start, 1 point away from producing Team Reserve's first win.
Surely, this has to be the moment where they've got 6, really 7 if you count the golden points, match points to work with. They have to cash one of these in.
Yeah, the danger is, of course, that you got the #1 team on the other side of the net who are cool comment. They won 93% of their matches last year, only losing 7 out of 101. But this might be too deep a hole to dig out of.
All well and good, but for the last 20 minutes, they have been the second best team on the court.
100% agree. And Chingotto lays it all on the line as he laid out to keep the rally going and finishes strong. And guess what, paddle fan? Team Reserve is no longer MIA on the scoreboard as they defeat Team Miami